Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616. With Avengers Endgame now only about 3 weeks away, we've all started to speculate wildly about where the MCU will go next. With a lot of our biggest heroes gone, what will the MCU look like moving forward? Now that the Disney-Fox deal is done, the future of the MCU has never looked brighter, and with some recent announcements, it's gotten me thinking about it a lot more than ever. So today I'm going to be going year by year, from 2020 to 2022, talking about everything we know and my own speculation regarding Marvel's post-Endgame Phase 4. Now, I'll be primarily assuming Marvel will stick with the 3 movies a year formula, but there's a chance they might want to move up to 4. They'll certainly be able to use that space. So I'll cover what 4th movies I could see happening as well, although keep in mind 2020 will only have 3 at the most. I've got a good bit of ground to cover, so let's get started. There are 2 films coming in 2020 that we know about for sure: Black Widow and The Eternals. Widow is set to start production this coming June and last until October 30th, while The Eternals is currently scheduled for a September 19th production start date. Lining this up with previously set Marvel dates, this means Black Widow is likely coming on May 1st and The Eternals on November 6th. It's looking a bit like this could be Marvel's first 2-film year since 2016, although some recent developments that I'll get into in just a second point towards a potential surprise 3rd film. So let's talk about them one by one. Black Widow will be directed by Kate Shortland, and while we have no plot details whatsoever, I have a couple of cast additions. Florence Pugh, David Harbour, and Rachel Weisz have all reportedly joined the film in mystery roles. My personal predictions are that Pugh is Yelena Belova, and Harbour might be Alexei Shostakov, aka the Red Guardian. He was a Russian soldier trained to be the Soviet Captain America and was married to Natasha for a while. I think Weisz would make a great Madame Mask, although her role in Agent Carter Season 2 might prevent that. If I remember correctly, she wasn't really Whitney Frost in that show. I think her real name was Agnes or something, but that was her acting name. So maybe they could make something work with that. It has not been confirmed when this will take place. I used to say it was confirmed to be a prequel, but this simply isn't true. Honestly, I think a story featuring ghosts from her past reappearing would be much more relevant to the MCU continuity than one set 12 years ago. Her arc thus far has been her learning to forgive herself and atone for the sins of her past through her heroics alongside the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. But after Endgame, both of those will be gone, so this could be about what's next for her, and how she deals with her own guilt without the Avengers. Next is The Eternals. This will be directed by Chloe Zhao, and already has 2 potential cast members, Angelina Jolie and Kumail Nanjiani. Jolie is reportedly playing Cersei. There are some who say she's too old, and I even thought that when she was first cast, but the fact is that Robert Downey Jr. was 43 in 2008. Mark Ruffalo was 45 in 2012, and Chadwick Boseman is currently 41 and is just at the beginning of his time as Black Panther. Jolie is 43 years old. It's a mystery who Nanjiani is playing. The report said he's a leading character, so I'm thinking perhaps Makari? We don't know anything about this movie's plot, but we do know certain interesting details. Hercules is reportedly in it and plays a large role. Rumor is that Marvel's in talks with Luke Evans for that role, and that he could be the MCU's first openly gay hero, which isn't exactly far off from the comics. Cue the "this movie is going to fail and be terrible because it has a gay character" comments. Druig is reportedly the villain, and I've read that Keanu Reeves and Cameron Britton are the favorites for the role. It's said that this might take place thousands of years in the past. Also, 2 Eternals cast members, Karen and Piper, have reportedly been a high priority in casting, leading to rumors that they might appear in a post-credit scene soon. Rumors are that Millie Bobby Brown is up for the Piper role. Also, considering that Thanos is actually an Eternal, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's mentioned or even has a cameo appearance. Honestly, I'd love to see Thanos continue to appear after Endgame, even if I doubt the Avengers are going to let him just walk away after what he did. But now, let's talk about the secret third movie of 2020. Recently, it was reported that Marvel Studios will film a movie in Australia at some point this summer. Looking at their currently announced movies, only one of them makes any sense for this spot: Shang-Chi. That film will be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and that's all we know about it. It is strange to think that it could possibly be moving this fast. I mean, it was only just announced last November. But if the rumors that Shang-Chi has been under our noses for a while now are true, it's not impossible. Rumors say that Remy Hee's character in Spider-Man Far From Home could be Shang-Chi, which is why they're able to move so quickly with this movie. The lead is already cast. I used to not believe this, but now I'm starting to kind of buy into it. Hee's character has been shrouded in mystery, and it's not some bizarre outside-the-box thing. Perhaps he's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent planted by Fury to keep an eye on Peter in the European vacation. But really, the biggest thing for me that makes me think this could be it is that the last time Marvel filmed in Australia, it was at Chris Hemsworth's request, an Australian actor. Remy Hee is an Australian actor as well. It's been pointed out that there are a couple of previously set Marvel Fox dates the MCU could use, namely March 13th and June 26th. Personally, I think they'll go for an August release. March is too soon, and the June date would just be shared with Top Gun 2, and just before the Ghostbusters reboot. It's just too crowded. August 14th, however, is perfectly clear. Like 2020, at this point 2021 seems pretty clearly laid out. There are two that we know about for certain that are coming that year: Doctor Strange 2 and Black Panther 2. So let's talk about them. Black Panther 2 is likely the first. I'd imagine it will go for the February 12th. Ryan Coogler will return to direct the film, and so far all we know is that some key actors will be returning, like Letitia Wright, Denai Guerrera, Winston Duke, Angela Bassett, Lupita Nyong'o, and Michael B. Jordan. Yep, apparently Killmonger may return for the sequel. It could just be T'Challa visiting him in the ancestral plane. He is his cousin after all. Or perhaps he could be resurrected. Rumored villains include the likes of Achebe, Moses Magnum, and Kraven the Hunter. And it's also a fan favorite idea for Storm to appear, although by no means confirmed. But I still wouldn't be surprised if she makes her MCU debut here. Next up is Doctor Strange 2, which will likely arrive on May 7th, 2021. We know that Scott Derrickson is returning to direct, and that Strange, Wong, Christine Palmer, and Carl Mordo will all return. We also know that Nightmare is likely the main villain of the sequel. I love this idea, and I think that going with a more creepy villain would allow Derrickson to inject some of his horror roots into the movie. Rumor is that Joaquin Phoenix is in talks to play Nightmare, and before you say he can't because he's the Joker, I'd like to point you to a couple dozen examples of actors working with both Marvel and DC. Recently, Derrickson tweeted a picture of Namor fighting Strange and then deleted it. This sparked rumors that the Submariner would be appearing in Doctor Strange 2. Although, he later said that the pictures he tweeted aren't meant to be teases. I kind of believe him. I don't see how Namor fits in with Mordo and Nightmare, and I honestly believe they'll be saving Namor for the X-Men. But what about the third 2021 date? It's currently set as November 5th, 2021, but I'm personally expecting that to change. Considering how Sony likes to do things, I think we'll most likely get Spider-Man 3 in 2021, although that of course isn't confirmed. I think that it would arrive on July 2nd, 2021. As for Marvel Studios' fourth potential film, I'd be very surprised if there aren't any Valkyrie discussions going on. And if there are, I could definitely see her getting a solo film on November 5th, 2021. I'm sure Taika Waititi would want to return to direct this, And I could even see Thor coming back in a supporting role if Chris Hemsworth is interested. And finally, 2022. This is the last year Marvel has any dates set up for, and we have one film definitively set here: Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's set to start production in February 2021, which puts it on the May 6th, 2022 spot squarely. We know Adam Warlock will feature heavily in Volume 3, and there are rumors that Mark Hamill is up for a role in the film. James Gunn has been reinstated as director, so a lot of the things he said before still count, including that this would focus a lot on Rocket. This makes sense. Rocket has just gone through a very traumatizing experience, and the rumor is that Volume 3 will introduce his creator. My money is that Hamill is portraying the Stranger for this role. Also, Gunn has stated that the Silver Surfer is a favorite of his, so I wouldn't at all be surprised if he is being worked into the movie as we speak. But what about the other two 2022 spots? Well, I'd say the February 18th spot is more than likely Captain Marvel 2. This hasn't been confirmed, but I think it makes the most sense. All we know about this potential sequel is that it might be set in the past as well, and that Jan-Rog is likely to return. Personally, I'd like to see Ronan finally done justice, and some more villainous Skrulls introduced, like Payback and Queen Veronica. And the final 2022 date? Well, I have a very specific idea for the July 29th slot: the Fantastic Four. It's just speculation, of course, but it makes the most sense. It's the perfect amount of time for them to plan out and produce a Fantastic Four film, and I definitely think they'll be arriving before the X-Men do. I think Doom would be in it, but he wouldn't be the villain. I think that'll either be Galactus, Molecule Man, or Annihilus. My personal choice is Galactus. I mean, wouldn't that be a great way for the Fantastic Four to hit the ground running? The fourth movie of 2022 would be a third Ant-Man and the Wasp film. I think if they do make another one, that will be the July date, and Fantastic Four would be moved to November 4th. I don't think Ant-Man and the Wasp will get another film unless they do 4 movies a year. I highly doubt they're enough of a priority for Marvel at this point. Now, you probably noticed that the X-Men are absent here. I very much doubt that we'll get a solo X-Men film before May 2023 at the earliest. I think Marvel needs time to figure them out, and I think they'll want to slowly introduce mutant characters throughout the MCU first, i.e. Storm in Black Panther 2, Rogue in Captain Marvel 2, Iceman and/or Firestar in Spider-Man 3, etc., etc. Also, there's the question of Deadpool. We know they're making more Deadpool movies, and they're probably in the MCU, but will they count among Marvel Studios' lineup, or will they be separated for being R-rated? I think it's very likely they'll continue to be produced under the 20th Century Fox banner. The next one will probably be X-Force. Drew Goddard's currently working on that, but I think it will be delayed to 2021 by this whole joining the MCU thing. By the way, does this mean that Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are now technically pseudo-MCU canon? Alright, so here's my full MCU Phase 4 prediction, including potential 4th films italicized. But I'd love to know, what do you guys think? What are your predictions for Phase 4 of the MCU? Do you think there's any movies or characters or rumors that I missed? Leave all your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and to subscribe for more. And I'll see you all next time.